Hello and welcome everybody to Season 2 of the Universal Open presented by 7-Eleven and Brisk. Now once again we're back and we're continuing to pioneer the way for 2v2 Rocket League as some of North America's best players take on the best in Europe for a slice of $100,000 worth of prize pool. Now of course we're back this year and we're bigger and better than ever. Double the amount of broadcasts being brought your way, and today is all about the Northeast qualifier. Of course after the online qualifiers that will be coming here from London, we move over the pond for the regionals in North America, which is going to be a very, very exciting time indeed. Now, on the Jess Coast, my name is ONSET, but joining me for the final time this week is, of course, the two wonderful gentlemen. It's the Chiefs and Shogun. It's a warm one today, isn't it, gentlemen?
Yeah, it's a little bit warm. It was okay last week, but I think I've been here long enough that now I'm just acclimated to it, and I can't say the U.S. is warmer, so that excuse is toast. So, yeah, it's hot.
You've got to just like the warmest period I think London's had in forever. You have not had the true London experience.
It did rain yesterday. I did get rain yesterday.
Were you happy with it?
No, because I had to walk home through it.
You weren't happy
no.
and you were walking in the rain. Okay, you actually got the real London experience. Okay. So I take it all back.
There it is. But I mean, it's not just us, of course. It's you guys at home as well. So we always want you guys to get involved, and you can do so by heading over to Twitter and using that hashtag UOS2 to get involved. Let us know who you think is going to be qualifying today, because today is all about qualification through to those regionals. Now, speaking about how everything works, let's have a quick look at the format to remind everyone at home exactly how Season 2 of the Universal Open will be working. Of course, we've got our qualifiers at the moment, and you can see those all on the left-hand side of your screen. We've done East, that's done, that's dusted. Northeast is where we are at the moment. Central comes afterwards, and West, this is all North America, of course, where the top four will progress to the regional finals. You can see that in the middle there. Washington, New York, Chicago, and San Francisco. The winners will move on to the grand finals, joining the online qualifiers from Europe, and the live final will of course be coming from Stamford, Connecticut. 8 teams, August 24th to the 28th. It's going to be a great time and a great thing for 2v2 Rocket League. Now let's have a look at the Brisk bracket update of exactly what's going to be going on today. We've had a lot of action over the last 2 days, but it all comes down to this. The first game that we'll be seeing today potentially will be Word versus Hockcat eGames. The winner of that will qualify. FlyQuest versus GoStation will have another qualifier, and then it is a scrap for those last 2 qualification spots. First in Flight waiting and In Bloom waiting as well in that lower bracket for a shot at redemption and, more importantly, qualification. Now let's have a look at the games that we're going to have coming up today. We're going to start off with Word versus Hockcat eGames, like we mentioned. Then we have FlyQuest versus GoStation, and then as we mentioned previously, First in Flight will be waiting for the loser of one of those games, and In Bloom will be waiting as well for their chance to see if they can make that losers bracket run and make it through, gentlemen. It's going to be a stressful evening for a lot of these players, but a rewarding one at the same time.
Yeah, and really looking forward to seeing how First in Flight performed today, because they, especially Sharif on the offensive side of things, absolutely went off yesterday. Coleman, good job supporting him, so really curious to see if they make it through.
Yeah, they've got an opportunity to either have themselves a rematch or they'll be taking on a brand new challenger. Whoever loses this one, they'll have to wait until the very end of the broadcast, and then they will be taking on In Bloom at that point. So some people that go away, and there's some people that are going to definitely try and bounce back from results that didn't really go their way.
Yeah, it's going to be a very exciting evening. I love how we have these 3 days to sort of build up to this final day where we obviously have the teams that are going to qualify battling it out for those 4 regional spots. But a few things for you to keep an eye on, of course, at home. One of them being the Brisk Dual Force moment. That is given the Brisk Dual Force achievement unlock, and that is going to be going to the player who scores 7 goals and makes 11 saves during a series. So keep an eye out for that one. We haven't given it away so far in the Northeast qualifier. So
I think we were close yesterday.
We were very close yesterday, but we didn't quite get there. But hopefully we can do that as well. And now on a slightly serious note, we have to remind everyone at home that thanks to our fantastic partners over at Soylent, we're involved in the fight against world hunger, and what we're doing is giving away 10 meals for every single goal that is scored, and we're donating those to the World Food Program over in the USA. You can get involved as well. Head over to wfpusa.org/universal over. Again, a massive thank you to our partners over at Soylent. A fantastic cause, gentlemen. And yesterday was goal bonanza, wasn't it?
We had like over 90 yesterday, which I think it was our highest scoring day.
78, I believe, was the overall amount.
I thought we hit 90 something.
We hit 90 something, didn't we, yesterday?
Three games.
Yeah, but like they lit up the scoreboard.
I'm saying 78.
Series.
I'm sticking with 78 on that one.
All right.
Okay, well, Shogun's never wrong. Apparently. But let's talk about this first game that we have today. Word, they've been very impressive so far. Obviously one of the teams to beat, and arguably one of the teams to beat overall and one of the favourites potentially for the tournament. They've gone up against Hockcat eGames. Now, we haven't seen too much of them. They've sort of scrapped their way through the bracket to have this chance at qualification. Are we expecting Word to be the first team to book their place here, or... Hockcat eGames going to keep scrapping.
Yeah, they're kind of like NRG2 back from last week, so pretty good odds they make it through here. We only saw them one time. They played against Oxygen, which was too fast to know, bro. And to be fair, Oxygen put up a pretty decent fight, except for that game 2, obviously, where they got blown out. So, I don't know. It kind of depends how complacent they get, but, 95% chance they qualify here.
Yeah, Hockcat, they've got to this point for, as you mentioned, scrapping. Not a single one of their 2 series they've played at this moment in time has not gone to Game 5. And this is against teams that have gone out much earlier in the tournament, so there could maybe be an argument to be made that maybe the bracket has favoured them up until this point. But we haven't seen them on stream just yet. We're not quite sure what they're capable of. We're going to have a chance to see right now.
Yeah, it's going to be, they've got their shot. That's the important thing, isn't it? They've got their shot. And not only that, even if they do fall here to the lower bracket, they have that second chance by, as we say, scrapping their way through that upper bracket. They've got 2 shots today at making it through to regionals. So, congratulations to those guys. They're going to be disappointed if they don't make it, but, they've got a very good chance of getting there. Now, Word, let's talk about them in, as an overall team. We've seen NRG2. That was sort of the top team we saw from the East closed qualifier. Word have obviously put their hands up as the top team here in the Northeast qualifier. How are we stacking up with these 2 players here overall as potential tournament winners?
To say the least, it's a very different systematic approach than NRG2. You've got Garrett G and JNops on that team, and that is very much an offensively minded team. And Shogun, walk me through what Word's all about. It's Fireburner Tournament.
So basically, it's a very plain style we've seen so far. We've seen 1v1 Bonanzas, we've seen mechanical Bonanzas. This is a very skill-based team. This is very much a case of holding the rotation as strong as possible. And it's something that they've done pretty well. As it looks like this game will not be happening at this point in time.
We're on EU servers.
We are on European servers. The best servers, of course, the best servers. Why are we complaining about this?
We're here in Europe, and we made a small mistake. But, we all make mistakes, but it's been man enough to own up
the
to
admin's been
it was
playing around
Shogun's
all
fault,
day.
Anyway. We'll get that sorted as quickly as possible, and we'll get back in, of course, to that game as soon as we can. But let's talk about Hockcat eGames, because we don't know too much about these players. We haven't seen them so far on stream. What can you tell us about these 2, and what can we expect from them?
Well, it's Hoxer and Wildcat, and to say the least, they've had quite an interesting run through the bracket. Like you said, they've had a 5-game series pretty much every time, and if I remember correctly, they played versus
Blackout for one of them.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the other one.
I think it was In Bloom.
No, they have not played In Bloom yet. In Bloom is the team that they would play if they end up losing this one, and that'll be later on today. They have not played In Bloom yet. However, there has been sort of a crossover between a team. They played XP, I believe.
Yeah, Phenomenal
XP.
XP.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which was a 3-0 to In Bloom, but I'm fairly certain that one was a DQ. Because we had a lot of them yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm fairly certain that match just didn't play. So we don't actually have any sort of cross-reference between these 2 teams. So we talked about it in day 1. Like, we actually turn around and just say 0-2 is the worst possible thing to go for. I'm going to retract that. Okay. 0-2 when you get to day 3 is the worst thing possible.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're 100% right there. That's the heartbreaker, isn't it? If you go 0-2 day 1, you're kind of like, maybe we weren't good enough this time. We'll come back next time and we'll make a bit of a better run. But, the heartbrake. I'm going 0-2.
You're going to have to wait a year for it.
Exactly. You got a year to wait to see if you can basically not make the same mistakes again. But I also want to look forward to next time we're here. I think we have a week off, and then we come back again.
A
couple of weeks off, and then we come back again. And I'm looking down here at the Central Closed Qualifier. And my word, do we have some big names in here, gentlemen. We have the likes
Gimmick.
of... we have Cloud9, we have EG, we have Allegiance.
FlyQuest is back, AJ and Moses.
When we come back onto this broadcast, it starts getting...
It gets
really
nasty,
mental.
doesn't it?
It gets really
nasty.
mental, because we've got that. Then we've got the West. West is just full of talent all over the shop. And then we hit Europe. And Europe
is going to be
you can find the list of teams that have qualified for Europe over on Reddit, actually, over on the RocketLeague Esports Reddit. They've got a list of all of them, and there was maybe one person on that list who I wasn't too sure about, but I bet Shogun knows them. So everybody else, that's a dogfight.
Yeah, that's going to be an insane time. We're just going to keep ramping up. It's going to get harder and harder, and then by the time we hit regionals for some of these teams, Europe, they skip the regional part. They only have the online bit. The top 4 from there automatically qualify for Stamford. But from here, we would move on to the regionals for these other teams. That's the top 4 for them, which means that
So
we sort of have to look
teams.
ahead. We sort of have to look ahead a little bit because we have been talking about these monumental monster teams that we're looking at. We've been looking at Word. Like, they're the team to beat. Should they make it through to the next round? We've got NRG2 for the other one. Right now, I only can really see upper 90. Remember, only one team from each of these regions gets through apart from Europe, who get 4.
Well, you end up with 16 teams from the closed qualifiers. They all move to regionals, right?
Yep, and then there's going to be 8 overall at the Stamford finals.
Correct. So 4 from these closed qualifiers end up going to...
Yep.
Yeah, so crazy stuff.
I'm really looking forward to when we get back, because we have a little bit of time to maybe just take a deep breath and reset ourselves and, to be honest, take a deep breath, because it's kind of been a, we've seen some good Rocket League so far. We've seen some new names come out of the woodwork as well, which is always exciting to see. We always love to, see new names coming out, making a name for themselves. But, I mean, I feel like after today, we got our 4 qualifiers obviously today, but after today, it really does get down to business, doesn't it? I mean, if you've enjoyed the show so far and you've enjoyed what you see, make sure that you stay in touch and you're keeping up to date with all the streams that are going on at the moment.
Hashtag is up here.
I was about to say, use the hashtag UOS2, and because they are going to be some crazy weeks coming up. As you say, Central, West closed. We've still got those closed qualifiers. We've got Europe to come, but finally we're about to get into game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Word versus Hockcat eGames. Gentlemen, it's over to you.
Well, you did say Europe's to come. However, for this game, at least Europe has gone away. We've got the right server this time around. Wildcat and the rest of Hockcat eGames have to really try and step up here if they want to upset the world and make themselves the first qualifier from the Northeast closed qualifiers. They've got a lot of work to do. Fireburner, he has upgraded his name. I feel like he's going to add extra letters to this every single time. Last time we saw him broadcast, he was just F.
Yeah.
This time around, here's Fire.
By the time he's made the World Finals, he'll be the full Fireburner. It'll be all the way back to normal.
No, the next round is going to be Fireburner. And then by Stamford, if he reaches that far, it's going to be Ultra Mega Fireburner. Ultrasonic.
Yeah. We'll workshop this.
Supernova Burner. These names are so much better, and that could have been a great opportunity to get the opening goal. Torment was caught out, but the shot not on target.
It's honestly been a pretty slow start here, I feel like, for Fireburner and Torment. Kind of thought they'd get some stronger chances here early on, but I mean, I guess there's a reason Hockster and Wildcat have made it through the upper bracket. And as we mentioned, this is the first time we've seen them. There's also not really too much to say about these guys. Again, it's another team that's really kind of come out of the woodwork.
Try and find a way out. Torment is by himself. He's going to do just fine from that position. Fireburner looks to win the challenge. He's managed to get it all the way up, but Torment is on the same side. He can't really do too much with that. And yeah, as you said it, Chiefs, it's been a much slower game so far. After the goal bonanza that we saw yesterday in pretty much every single game. It's a little bit to adjust to, I've got to say.
We had like 3 games that had 7 goals for one team at least. It was insane yesterday.
Hockster back over to the middle. Fireburner will clear. 2 minutes now gone. Hockster has just got such a poor touch to start with. He opened up the opportunity for Fire, and he took it.
Yeah, Fireburner was just pushing really aggressively. Didn't even take time to grab the boost. He kind of said, look, if they make a mistake, I'm going to try and capitalize. And Hockster just took him that couple extra moments to really try and get that ball under control out of that corner. That's all Fireburner needed. That's one of the impressive things about the pros is they don't need a lot of boost to make strong plays like that.
Don't need that much time either. Just a small mistake was all it took. Wildcat was only by himself for a mere second. As Hockster recovered incredibly well, I've got to say. 0 boost on the side of Torment, but he will steal over in the corner. Wildcat looking for a clear. Fire on 30. He's going to do enough to just try and force Torment to the back line. Over half of this game now complete. Hockcat eGames still looking for their first major opportunity as they try and tie this game back up. Will it come from this play? Wildcat has got 45 to his name. He's going to try and steal over in the corner, but Torment's clear. So powerful. He's going to just reverse all the momentum, and Hockster is not looking comfortable at all. Long clear. Gonna go all the way. You have to be so careful when you pass from the corner.
It was a decent challenge there from Torment, and I think Fireburner just... I honestly don't even think he thought Wildcat would just put that on target. He was figuring, yeah, probably a pretty big clear here, and I'll just go back. But, I mean, that was a lot stronger and far more accurate than even I was expecting, I think.
It's a major thing that can catch you out in twos. It's those corner passes, because if there's no one there immediately, it's just a half volley. It's a half volley coming at you that you can get loads of power on.
Breakaway chance here. Ooh, he recovered.
Fire. Ball on his hood. Hockcat be the only person remaining. Gonna try and force the challenge! Nice. And why would you even try?
And again, good recognition here from Fireburn on the dribble. He knows he's got a one-on-one with Hockcat, and he's got a lot of choices, but you know you got to make a decision eventually, and Fireburn is just looking over that ball, waiting for him to challenge. As soon as he sees him going, just cruises over to the left-hand side and puts himself in a great position. There's a reason that we call that man the god of the 50-50s. It's because he doesn't lose a lot of them.
Fire back out. Torment, that was a very wild first touch from him, but Fire is able to recover it. For a way back, there's going to be the shot, but Torment reads that all the way. No one back, big clear.
He's going to steal
it. Will Fire just take it?
Oh,
no, he will not. Good guy, Fire. Gives Torment his first goal of the day.
He dodged the demo. That's what Fire's ultimate goal was. Get out of the way of the demo and then just, trace this ball, because Torment's done some good work too.
Well, Hockcat, they were a goal down. They definitely had to try and find some way back into the game. But now the trench has just got even deeper.
They've held their own quite nicely here, though, in game number 1. It's not like Fireburner and Torment have been able to do whatever they want. Yeah, they're driving pace of play, and this one's going to find the back of the net, actually. And I had the scoreboard open, so I don't actually know how it went in.
Well, it's just going to be straight back out. It's these slightly weak, I'm not going to say weak touch, but uncontrolled touches from Hockcat. They feel like they're safe in the corner, but every single time that has happened, Word have been around to punish exactly that.
Yep.
And Word's playstyle probably will get stronger as this series goes across, especially with the way they play, very positional. The more they can figure out the habits of their opponents, the better they will respond. Torment takes the ball down. Hockcat going to try him for the challenge. He's done incredibly well with that. Fire trying to get that ball straight back over to the middle. There's not going to be too much in the terms of commitment from Word. They've already got the 3-goal lead. They haven't got to really do too much more.
Oh, double commit.
Well, I did say they didn't have to do too much more. However, it looks like they wanted to try. Back out, and Torment clears to safety.
Very interesting commitment there from Fireburner and Torment. It's not often you see these guys go for the same ball, again, because they're so positionally minded, both of them. Oh. Those are those chances you really got to turn in if you're Hockcat and Wildcat, because you know you're not going to get too much versus these guys. And if you can't convert those chances of you winning go way down.
Well, Word's best chances did come. I mean, Hockcat eGames' best chances did come when Word were pressed pretty far up. Have failed to break the defense so far, but this is going to be their first opportunity to do so. And I've got to say, Achieves, whilst it doesn't mean too much in terms of the scoreline, it does mean a lot for Hockcat's confidence, because that is the first time they've managed to break down a solid defense from Word.
Yeah, it shows you don't need a mistake from them. It shows you are capable of at least beating them on your own terms. And that's a very powerful thing. You don't know how often it's going to happen, but just the fact that you can do it, it feels good.
I mean, the scoreline said 5-1, gentlemen. However, I felt like that was somewhat of a close game, especially that first minute or so. Both teams sort of feeling each other out, much like we might expect, the first game for these guys. But one thing that really impressed me was the pressure that the Word guys were putting high up the pitch, and they were trying to stifle. They were putting pressure on. They're saying, you need to make every touch count here, otherwise we will take advantage.
And we also kind of talked about this last week as well. We were saying, hey, even though you're honestly probably not going into this series expecting to win, you're going to try to win, obviously, but you're not expecting to win just based off of who you're up against. But you are trying to say, look, let's go play a solid series of Rocket League, and if we get knocked down in the losers bracket, take that and say, look, we played well versus these guys. Let's go qualify on the second go-around.
Now, the big scary thing here is actually the fact that every single time Hockcat did try to play the ball out of their own side, they got punished for it. Every single time they just tried to smash it, they got goals from it. So as much as it did work,
Best strategy. Hit the ball
it
really
is the
hard.
best strategy, but I almost don't want it to be
Words right out of my
employed at this point in time, because the more they smash it, the more that we're going to see the rotation sort of adapt on the side of Word, and that won't be working as much. They've got to find some way of utilizing the walls a little bit more, maybe some more passing plays. We saw one very early in the game that they just didn't get on target, but it's a good threat to have around, just leaving someone up on the wall and get the pass over to them. Have they got the confidence to do it, though? Because you've got to have the confidence to say, okay, I'm going to leave this guy back against Torment and Fire.
Good luck.
Yeah. So we do get ourselves into game number 2. Word taking game number 1 in their own stride. As we did mention, not the most fancy teams. However, they do get the job done. Now back out. Is cleared, but only straight back over to Torment. Be dangerous. As Hockcat tries to clear the ball away, and that is going to be crucial for Hockcat. Couldn't afford to get trapped in their own zone for too long, as they could have been boost starved out.
Risky, but I like it. It's a fairly controlled risk attempt, and Hockcat and Wildcat, I think they have a pretty good sense of how far they can really push up the field. Torment
gets a challenge, and Wildcat. Crucial bump from him. You know Torment was going to try and immediately turn around for a shot. It's another very slow start to one of these games.
Ooh, Fire gave it to him.
Wildcat can't quite nail the double tap. Hockcat back over to the middle.
And Wildcat had to leave that ball because Fireburner gave up on that ball earlier off that touch on the back wall just to go take away the boost from Wildcat. So Fireburner earning his team a possession here and maybe a couple of chances, but well defended by Hockcat off the back wall.
Torment straight from the corner. Looking to try and find some way of opening up space for his teammate. Fire does try for the shot. Torment with the follow-up. It was just a case of keep smashing it until it breaks.
Honestly, yeah, pretty much. This was making Hockcat and Wildcat get a little bit antsy right in front of their own net, and Wildcat hovering just couldn't get down to the ground fast enough. And eventually, hitting the ball really hard works out, you know?
Best strategy in Rocket League. Fire does win the challenge, but it does give the ball straight over to Wildcat, who can try and turn the ball in. Just tried to find the deftest of touches. Hockcat, they'll be happy that they've kept these games at least close. Last time, they were able to take this back to 1-1. They're going to look to try and repeat their fortunes this time around. Trying to take control. Good challenge win. Torment by himself. They've got to play this quickly because Fire is now already back. That means that all they really gained from that challenge win was a little bit of territory.
Well played from Wildcat. Not trying to do too much. Take it back to his own side, get some boost, let his teammate get reset.
Gonna drop down awkwardly. Hockcat able to read it well, but the boost has been stolen. Hockcat has got to try and get over, and he's done just that. Right in the way of the oncoming shot from Fire, and he's going to be beat to that ball yet again.
Ooh.
Now's a shot early! Everyone being caught out by that. Wildcat makes it 1-0.
I really like this. He just goes up, steals that ball away from Fireburner in the midfield, and honestly, how quick he did that, it's some recovery effort the pros can, you know, take cap to. The fact that he was able to take that play and develop it into a strong scoring chance so quickly and not give a lot of time for the defense to react and really think, that's a credit to Wildcat. It's a brilliant shot.
It's also that level of creativity that we do love to see. Oh my goodness, speaking of creativity, Torment, he's just sort of set it up on a silver platter for Fire.
And that's something Torment's always been really good at. Just, oh man. He spends too much time on defense knowing how to take balls across nets, and it's even more fun to watch when it sets up an opportunity for his teammates to put one home.
Well, there's something very interesting to talk about when it comes to Torment, because he is typically known as that more defensive player. And if there's anyone out there that's going to know what a defender hates to happen around them,
yeah.
It's going to be him. He knows just how to make that little bit extra bit awkward. Wildcat does have Hockcat down the field, but Hockcat is going to go for that back boost, meaning that Wildcat has got to try and take a lot of space for himself. Torment trying to repeat the successes that Wildcat had earlier on. One taken out by Wildcat.
Oh, chance here.
Might win, but just too much of an awkward angle. Torment all the way back out. Fire almost wins the challenge, but Hockcat shutting it down just in time. 2-1 still to Word. And there's just over 90 seconds for Hockcat to really make a meal of this game.
I really like the communication you're seeing out of Hockster and Wildcat. If they've got time to work on defense, they do pretty well. It's when Fireburner and Torment really start making them think about what they're going to do is when they get tied up. But if they've got space to work with, Hockster and Wildcat really do a nice job of taking advantage of that. Chance here, right at him, and it doesn't matter. Into the left-hand side, they've tied it up.
Right into the body and just made it far too difficult to save properly. Fire, you can see him trying to rotate around. It's actually poor rotations from him. Never really set himself up properly for the save. And that is going to be 2-all for Hockcat. An opportunity to try and take themselves a win. We said before we came into this game that they've made every single one of their series so far a scrap. They're looking to do it again with RLCS caliber opponents.
You know, what if they actually took down Fireburner and Torment? We were joking about teams being landmine teams. Well, you planted the biggest one if you knock down Word.
Certainly be something terrible. Remember, the loser of this match is not knocked out of the tournament just yet. They will be put into the lower bracket where Bloom awaits as our final match of today's broadcast. You are not going to want to miss that.
Beats this clear. Nice touch.
Wildcat refused to miss that ball either. Fire. Crossfield. Torment. Awkward for him to try and deal with. Set up Hockster for a powerful clear.
I think it's going to be a tense last 20 seconds here for Hockster and Wildcat. I think Fireburner and Torment really try and push for the win here.
Yeah, definitely the team that are more familiar with the pressure that comes in this sort of situation.
Oh, he got
Hockster has
caught.
not done well, and this is going to be heartbreaking for Hockcat. You said it, Achieves. This was going to be so telling for their chances, and they crumbled.
I think Wildcat was getting so ready to move forward there as Hockster took that up the side wall. And then he saw him just lose it, and he second-guessed himself when he started to rotate back to net, started turning left, then backed up and tried to go to the right, and by that time just wasted all the time. But can they do something here with 5 left?
Kickoff has gone so far against them. Hockster has to keep this alive. Not going to be there for that one. It will drop to the floor. Much closer this time around, but
unfortunate.
It's got to be said, if there was a chance to win, that was it.
That was it.
That's the thing, isn't it? When you don't get many chances against a team of the caliber of Word, you've got to take those chances when they come along. That was an opportunity to tie up the series, potentially. However, we have to give credit, of course, to Word. That's why we are backing these guys so much. That's why they are where they are. The ability to win games in those clutch situations.
And to be fair, Hockcat is really making them work. They're not making it easy for Fireburner and Torment to just walk all over the pitch. And again, that's what it all comes down to in 2v2, the ability to control the pace of play. And again, I think Wildcat and Hockster have done a pretty good job. Whenever Fireburner and Torment, because they're not the most offensively minded guys, every now and again there's a little bit of space, just like that shot from Wildcat. There's a little bit of space to work with, and they take the most advantage that they can with it, and they do a pretty decent job.
Yeah, the only real criticism I have for Hockcat at this point is they are very poor when they've got both players back. Once they've got themselves set up into all defense mode, they never really play it too well. Definitely have the ball played around them. It seems like they are willing to jump for everything rather than wait for the real danger and then go for that, because there's been a lot of times now where Word have just been playing the ball around and we just see Hockcat jumping for it, and it's not worked out so far. I'd like them to be a little bit more clinical, maybe have a better idea of what is actually dangerous and what is just a little bit of show from
more
Word.
awareness on defense would be nice, yeah.
Well, they're only one game away from being our first qualifiers. So Word, as we say, they're 2-0 up. Can they make it to 3-0? Or will we see a little bit of a comeback here from Hockcat eGames? Because they have shown their ability. That's the thing. You know, they've shown in front of goal. They have the ability to finish, but I think Shogun hit the nail on the head there. Just a few defensive errors. Maybe just need to tighten up a little bit there. But it's so difficult, isn't it? Because the thing is about Word, they almost create those defensive errors with the way that they come forward.
Yeah, it's going to be, I mean, the team that's going to be looking at this most and just going, it's going to be Bloom. Because we have not seen
they don't
this
play
team at this point. And we were just like, okay, has this been the schedule just being nice to them and maybe a team has just got through here? No, these guys can play this game to an incredible level. So Bloom, if Hockcat get dropped down, that is not going to be an easy win for them. Those two teams are going to have to fight it out. But we're not at that point just yet. One more win still needed.
Yeah, one more win still needed. Achieves? Be honest with me right now. Do you think that the dream is still alive here for Hockcat eGames in this series? Or do you think that Word are just going to step it up once again in this Game 3 and close this out?
I think that Hockcat can win one game. I don't think they can win the series.
Okay.
I think they can definitely win a game, though.
I agree that they can win a game, but it was the last game. That was their chance.
That was the last game.
But we shall see. What have they got left? Well, it's going to be a very poor start for them.
Ooh.
The creators of their own demise, and it has happened once again.
Oh, just misses the touch, and
Oh, that's such a no-go. Don't cut across your own teammate. Don't get a poor touch. And certainly, don't set up Word for an easy tap-in.
I was going to say panic, but yours works too.
Don't do these things. Don't run next to the pool.
Don't run next to that. Actually, yeah, that's a great one.
So for Hockcat, after such a close previous game, they have dropped the lead almost immediately.
Poor start, but they've started every game behind one, so let's see how they rally from it.
It's the first time we've seen an early goal, though. Usually very slow, tense starts to these games. Now Word, up by 1. Fire looks to make it 2, but he can't get his car behind that ball to really force the challenge to go in his favor. Hoxer, he's
Weird choice.
a lot of style with that, but very little meat.
It's easy on the eye, but easy to defend.
Good challenge there from Torment. Hoxer by himself, well read from Fire. He's already in that corner, but the bounce was not what he expected. Torment will get
breakaway.
blocked. Fire has to try and chase his way back. And there is that challenging ability. That is so useful. You can see now Torment is all the way back. Now Fire, ball on his hood. He's going to come straight back down.
Oh, man.
Torment thinking better of going for the challenge.
Heads-up play from Wildcat there as well. After going for that challenge versus Fireburner, quickly started reversing into his own net just because he knew Fire was going to go hunting for that demo.
Fire back out yet again. Hoxer tried to chase his way in. Free boost on Fire.
Oh, Torment,
Not
so
enough
smart.
time, but there's going to be Torment. His shot up high. And there's that jumping I was talking about earlier, but this time around, Wildcat in position to get the save. And now Fire is
Double
committed
commit.
out of nowhere. This is the best opportunity Hockcat are going to get.
Nailed it.
And they will score it.
And Wildcat, for the past, I would say, minute and a half, he has been having to do some hero work on both sides of the ball, making some very crucial challenges, winning some big 50s, and finally converting that open chance. Torment and Fireburner, they will make the occasional mistake every now and again, and kudos to Wildcat for capitalizing on it.
Well, the script has been resumed, as it has been every single game so far. Word going a goal up, and then Hockcat able to retaliate. But now they look to try and flip that script. Hockcat looking for their lead. Looking for their chance to take at least a game and force a series out of this. Hoxer really far forward. Good half flip from him. Able to get it back out. And that is an
not a good
awkward touch. Hoxer, though, he's able to recover very well.
It was really kind of the test of do they continue to panic on defense or not after that initial poor touch. It's good to see them keep their wits about them and get that ball back out into neutral ground.
Wildcat challenged, wins the ball. Now Fire, back to the corner. That's a bump on Hoxer. Fire one-on-one against Wildcat, but Wildcat, with the heroics yet again, just pounces onto the ball the moment it was available. Still not clear just yet. Now it finally will be. Hockcat, can they make something of this?
Nice challenge.
The pressure is gone, and you could see the potential for the double commit. But Hoxer thinking better of it, and I gotta say it was the right decision.
Yeah, Fire and Torment were both just driving up that midfield, daring him to go for that challenge, but still another 2-on-1 here.
Going to come straight out. Good save. Fire with the follow.
He missed it.
Not good enough. And now Torment. He's got to play this well. Straight to the side. Awkward bounce.
Big misread. Here's the part. It's going to be a test here for Wildcat and Hoxer. Starting to scramble a little bit.
Oh, there's low boost as well on Hoxer. He's been bumped as well. It's time for Wildcat to be the hero
Great
yet
clear.
again. And that clear will do exactly that for his team. They are able to release the pressure.
Ooh.
Hoxer on the wall. Not
Awkward
once
chance.
have Hockcat been in the lead in this series. Wildcat.
I think he should have went for a pinch there. Just jumped up and slammed that ball off the wall.
And now Hoxer, what's he going to do? He's trying to play it. No immediate pounding clears. That's going to be an awkward touch. Do not overplay in the corner. Very little to be gained. Hoxer
Great
by
chance.
himself, ceiling shot.
Great
Awkward,
chance.
open net. Hockcat on the verge of taking their first game win.
Expertly controlled by Hoxer here off the ceiling, and he gets Torment to bite on that really hard. Torment realizes, oh, this could be really bad if I just let him do whatever I want. And perfect timing from Hoxer. As soon as he saw him jump, just smashed it over his head, and now they got to hang on for 56 seconds. And again, you're going to see Fireburner and Torment really going to start to push. They'd like to just qualify right here. You don't want to give them anything.
Wildcat. See that ball just over the top. He has been stupendous in Game 3. The game win would be a worthy way of finishing. If not, it is all for naught. Torment looking for the pass. Wildcat in the way. And also Hockcat goes for the obstacle course, avoids the demo and puts it underneath. 2-goal lead. Wildcat about to send this to Game 4.
And again, you saw Word really try and push there, went hyper aggressive in the midfield, trying to win that 50 and just give themselves a good scoring opportunity. And Hockster, great advantage. Saw Torment up behind the ball and just put himself in a great spot to win the challenge, and more importantly, turned it in and gave his team a cushion.
Wildcat with the clear. Remember how quickly this can turn, though. They cannot let themselves think that this is over. I can guarantee you, Hockcat certainly are doing anything but that. But Fireburner tries to get the challenge. Low boost on him. Torment wants the backboard, but he's also challenged. Hockcat's version of defense right now is just to not let up. Keep challenging absolutely everything.
Just
and
don't
it
lose.
will work out for the better. They are forcing a series out of this. Game 4 ONSET is on the way.
Yeah, Game 4 is very much on the way, and I mean, what an impressive display all around there from the Hockcat guys. I mean, they met aggression with aggression, and we talked about this before. We're saying some players, they get, you know, a little bit intimidated by the names they're going up against, but these two are playing like it's anyone.
And more importantly, they were able to fix a few of those defensive errors. They didn't scramble quite as hard, avoided some of those big double commits that were giving free chances over to Fireburner and Torment, and it worked out pretty well for him.
I mean, Wildcat, he just had a marvelous performance in this game, both offensively and defensively. There was a moment, I'm fairly certain we're going to be able to see it during these replays. I mean, it started off terribly for them, but the fact that they had the mental fortitude to bounce back from this was absolutely massive. This is the save right here.
Yeah, that was
if
a big one.
Wildcat does not make that save, this game is over. This series is over. I don't think they would have been able to bounce back from that. But from there, they started to build.
And now I think Fireburner and Torment kind of have to take just a moment. They don't have to spend too much time, but I think they have to realize that, look, we can't keep being really aggressive whenever we want. I think Hockster and Wildcat have shown them that, hey, we know you're really good players, and we know you can kind of walk the floor with us if you wanted to, but you can't afford to just, you know, go crazy and send two people up all the time. You got to at least think about how you're going to beat us.
It's very true. One thing that stood out for me as well is, you know, you have to take your chances against these teams because, like you said, Achieve, they will make mistakes. You know, they are human at the end of the day. We saw one double commit coming in from the guys on Word there, but it was taken advantage of. And you'll see so many times that some of the teams haven't taken advantage of those opportunities. Pretty sure that Hockcat eGames in that game took advantage of pretty much every opportunity they created or were gifted in that scenario. And that's why one of the big reasons, the contributing factors to them winning that game.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, but the fact is they're creating their own chances as well. It's one thing to be saying, okay, they're being gifted this stuff. It's another thing to create your own, especially when you're in the lead, because it's so easy with one goal up, with very little time remaining, just to start settling down and saying, okay, this can be enough. This is still a winning score.
Lose.
But Wildcat, phenomenal setup. Torment too far forward. I don't really feel like the defensive display so far from Fire and Torment has been really all that good.
Yeah.
I don't think they've even utilized the backboard once so far. They're very grounded with their defense. They can do better.
Now, we have seen that Hockcat eGames to be, you know, the Game 5 specialist. We talked about how they've scrapped and, you know, they've clawed. There's a cat reference in there for you. You know you like that one. Are we going to see another Game 5 here, gentlemen? Are they going to keep up the drama of their bracket run?
Skeptical.
You said they'd only get a game.
I think they only get one game, yeah.
Shogun?
I've already been wrong. I already said that the last Game 2 was their best chance. But now they've got a real chance of winning the entire series.
Look, I'm a believer. I'm saying this is going to Game 5, gentlemen.
ONSET is drinking from the Optimist Cup today.
You were yesterday.
I know. I'll tell you what.
A generous man to share.
The Universal Open. Anything can happen. Hockcat had a terrible start to the last game, but they bounced back well. How have Word adapted to the sucker punch of Game 3? It's going to be an immediate shot. Wildcat. Just been a fortress in defense.
Absolutely. He has made some massive touches, and that's another one. Talk about massive touches. Torment sets up Fireburner again. Silver platter stuff.
Yep, Torment. Beautiful double tap. Hockster is not in any position to deal with that whatsoever. As soon as the double tap happens, even if Hockster doesn't jump, he's not getting to that one.
Toasted.
So we stick with it. 1-0 to start off with Word. Hockcat have managed to get it back each time, but is that going to be an end to that certain storyline? Nope.
Oh, man.
It's Fire straight in the middle.
Wow.
There's going to be that double commit. Seeing that an awful lot so far from Word, but Fire is able to recover just in time, but maybe not enough. Hockser will bounce that one out. Torment clears wide, but only as far as Wildcat. Can't get that challenge. Hockser will be by himself.
Oh, big chance here.
See, Fire is not trying to get that ball into the net. Instead, he's just trying to win the ball for Torment to come out for. Wildcat, he would give anything for at least 30 more boost in that situation.
The Torment got caught out in front of that orange net. He was just so focused on making that challenge. He wasn't expecting Hockser and Wildcat to miss that ball. And Torment just ended up passing it right back to him. And very fortunate, to say the least, that they didn't have anything to drive the length of the field.
Missed touch there from Torment. Faked out on Fire. Infield pass available. Wildcat, he got it too far into his body, though. The pass had to be further forward.
And they also went for the demo in the net. I think they were expecting, or Hockser was expecting Wildcat to shoot that ball, and Wildcat was trying to pass it.
I think Wildcat was expecting him to shoot that ball, but the delivery just wasn't quite right for him.
Nice bump.
Fire goes long. He's got the follow-up uncontested and will score.
That's actually all set up by this bump right here in the midfield by Torment on the way out. And then Fire, the follow-up bump, just nails Wildcat as well. And Hockser in front of the net, he's got 0 boost. He has no chance to make a save on that ball. It's all pure execution from Fireburner. Does he put it in or does he not? As Hockcat can sit there and only watch.
Well, Hockcat have come back from a goal down, but they've never done it from 2. At least in this series. They've got to try and pull it off now, otherwise they will have a date with Bloom in the lower bracket.
Oh, man.
But that is a monstrous challenge.
And that'll get you fired right back up, won't it? It's a great touch from Hockser, and a little bit fortunate it goes right into the net, but you'll take what you can get, right?
Hockser, you need to change your Twitter profile right now.
To what?
I didn't just beat Fire in a 50-50.
Destroy.
I annihilated Fire in a 50-50. Profile image is just that challenge.
Right in the Twitter bio. Destroyer of Fireburner in challenges.
Oh, wow. Straight off the backboard.
No chance.
Torment with the double tap off the ceiling.
Oh.
But there is Fireburner for the follow-up. This pressure is suffocating.
Hockser was so close. He got antsy there and jumped at that first touch from Torment, and then he, again, just didn't quite cover all the angles Fireburn had available. To be fair, you don't have a lot of time to think about it. You just kind of do and hope you save it. So well-placed ball from Fireburner to slide that one into the lower right-hand side.
So now that 2-goal lead re-established. Fire has got the double tap in mind.
Oh.
And why not? 4 goals for him. 4 shots taken. And he is stepping up.
And again, that's all set up by Torment going for a demo right in front of the net. He forces Hockser to dodge one, gets him facing the wrong way, and then again, perfectly placed ball from Fireburner behind the defense. So heads up play from Torment, forcing the poor positioning, and Fireburner capitalizing. Saw you with a little giggle there, Shogun. What are you laughing at?
The fact that I was right about the amount of shots taken. I took a Hail Mary for that one.
Make another one. What's it now?
I can see on screen now. It's 5.
Ah, dang it. Ruined.
Well, for Hockcat,
the end of the road.
It feels like maybe games 2 and 3 were everything they had remaining in the tank.
That is kind of an interesting question. I mean, you have to play this game perfectly at the highest level if you want to win for so long, and it can be fairly draining. It's like it only comes at 5 minutes at a time, but it can be a tiring 5 minutes.
I mean, just take a look at RLCS Season 4. Will we ever need a better example of just, yeah, fatigue is a thing. Mental fatigue, you know, physical fatigue. I mean, that adrenaline is going for these boys, I can guarantee you that. And nothing will tire you out quicker
than having to play the game perfectly for so long in such long bursts. And that's part of the thing that makes pros, you know? It's like there's not very many people who can do that. It's like there's a lot of people who are probably just as mechanically gifted as Fireburner and Torment are. It's just their ability to keep doing it, I think.
Well, I remember interviewing Garrett all the way back in Season 3, I was saying, okay, well, what's the one thing you wish you could improve? And he said consistency. I would like to argue at this point that maybe he's nailed that. But it is consistency. It's definitely being able to play at that top level over and over again for multiple games. All the way back out. 1 minute remaining here. Hockcat, pretty much their goal at this point is to make the game look a little bit more respectable, but it's got to be said.
Crushing
3-1 against Words? That's more than respectable.
I agree. I mean, regardless of the outcome of this final game, you say, look, games 2 and 3, we played awesome Rocket League. And, you know, they've got, they're the last match of the broadcast, correct?
Yes, they will be the last match of the broadcast.
So they've got some time to really take a moment, catch their breath, so to speak, and get right back into it in an hour or so, maybe an hour and a half. And I think it's going to be a good series versus In Bloom. I can't wait to watch that one.
We've got a lot of really good series left, and there's going to be a shot.
Feels bad.
Crossbar says no. The breaker of dreams and the destroyer of great shots.
Oh, good save.
As the game does come towards an end here, Word, they will be our first team progressing to the Northeast next round. And for them, that's going to feel good. It's job done.
Quality show overall from Fireburner and Torment. And it'll be interesting to see how they stack up versus, you know, NRG2 at Regionals. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun and also a bit of a war, let's be honest with you. That's as I say, there's only a few spots available for that grand final, so definitely going to be interesting to see how those two teams go up against each other. But all credit in the world there to Hockcat eGames. I don't think we were kind of expecting them to put up quite as much as a fight as they did in that one, but I think you hit the nail on the head, Shogun. They had the opportunity. They won one game. They had the opportunity to win two. If they take those two games, maybe they can run off adrenaline in that game number 5.
Yeah, it's definitely small margins at this point, and honestly, it was very easy to sort of write them off. I mean, I believe their game was the only game in round 1 that went to game 5. Usually a round where the main contenders sort of sweep their way through.
You're going to win, you know?
Yeah, so... But they stepped up here, and their match against Bloom later on today is going to be a heck of a show. That will be rounding out the broadcast. I'm looking forward to it.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that match is going to be... we keep saying scrap, don't we? We keep saying scrap.
That's
because
just the way
think
they play.
Exactly, it's the way that it is going to be. Of course, you know, they've lost the first opportunity at qualification, but they're not going to... We talked about it in previous broadcasts. They're not going to drop down to that lower bracket now and think... They're not going to be devastated, are they? They're going to be like, oh,
no.
You know,
hang your head high.
We just got smashed or anything like that. They're going to be going, right, okay, we've just played, you know, against two of the best players in the world there. We've matched them as good as we could. We've played some really good Rocket League there, but we came up a little bit short. Bring on the next match.
This comes up actually to something we mentioned in day 1, where if you play really well against someone who you don't expect to play really well against, and you take on whoever you're taking on next, and you're sort of going, okay, I don't really care about you guys, but I came really close against Fireburner and Torment. You'd have loads of confidence at that point.
That's very, very true, and something that we should keep you all informed of as well. I believe there was 20 goals in that series as well, so thanks to our friends over at Soylent. That means 200 meals will be going to the World Food Program over in North America, so good stuff from the guys. We said no mercy. I don't think we really had mercy being given there.
I don't think there was a chance.
There wasn't a chance for mercy in that one, but yeah, 200 meals going to be going over there, so that's... sorry, 22 meals. We've added more. We've added more. 220 mils is going to be going over. If you want to get involved as well, it's wfpusa.org/123 Universal Open. There it is.
We're going to start a barber choir at this rate.
A barbershop quartet.
Yes, there we are.
We got 3 more weeks of action. I reckon we can nail that. I mean, if
only 3 of us though, it's going to be even better. That's going to be our gimmick.
Barbershop trio.
Next week we're here. We'll work on your voice.
Okay.
Following week, I'll come in for the final week, and by the last day. It is going to be truly awful. But, you know, it's...
Come on, get the optimism glass back out.
I took music education in college, and, you know, I'm trained in it, so I can write us a short little thing. We can actually do that.
It's one thing to have an education. It's one thing to try and teach the uneducated.
That's true. That's
so
true.
that's another thing.
Just be like, sing this note.
But one thing we can do is educate everyone at home at the moment. Let's have a brisk bracket update and show you how that's changed everything. And you can see at the bottom there the game that we're talking about, which is going to be potentially our last game of the day as well. Hockcat eGames, who have just been knocked down into our lower bracket, taking on In Bloom. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be a scrap. But you can see at the top there on the right my-hand side, most importantly, Word are our first team who have qualified here for the Northeastern, from the Northeastern closed qualifier, so they'll be through to regionals. Congratulations to them. But again, commiserations to Hockcat eGames, but you are still alive, in the words of General Palpatine from Star Wars.
Wait, is that? I don't think that's...
He's still alive, yeah. It's the bit where he finds Anakin, and he goes, he's still alive.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm
true
trying
facts.
to find any reference in my head where Emperor Palpatine, like I'm thinking like Dr. Frankenstein, it's alive.
You know, there's a moment every
It's not
broadcast I realize that I'm still in a nerd environment.
That was it?
This was it.
That was it?
Put one in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. Everybody does. It's probably not the most famous, like, part from, like, there's so many
of course
lines
it's not.
around that scene, but there's one bit. I'll tell you why. It's because I always find that bit really funny, because there's loads of really, like, important, massive, like, epic lines, like the whole, I have the high ground,
I
blah,
have
blah,
the
blah.
high ground, yeah.
And he just immediately followed by, no.
Yeah. and then Palpatine just walks over and goes,
He's still alive.
he's still alive. It's just like, sound. Anyway, let's talk about some of the games we've got coming up after this, gentlemen.
FlyQuest
because
Ghost Station.
yeah, let's talk about that one, because we've just seen a very impressive series. We've seen, you know, the favourites moving forward and obviously qualifying, but this one, you know, there's a lot more on the line, a little closer,
Much
tight
tighter.
teams. Yeah.
Yeah, and it should be quite interesting, as this will be FlyQuest. While not in the 3v3 environment, it's kind of their first taste of some RLCS level play. Prime Thunder has never made the RLCSs. This is his second go-around since Rival Series a year ago. I keep thinking like seasons are an entire year, but they're not.
It's very
It just
different things
It
at that
really
point.
messes with my mind, but
It's
it'll
going to be
fun to see
curious
that.
because it's going to be a very mechanically heavy game. The way I would describe it to you on set is, imagine upper 90 playing,
Okay.
and then just have another upper 90 playing, but one of them really likes to go to the air.
Okay, fair enough. I genuinely thought you were going to try and describe it in Star Wars terms, because that was how you were going to break it down to me. You
Emperor
were gonna be like,
Palpatine is just
So,
like, he's still alive.
imagine Padme. and I was just going to go, I'm in. You've sold me. But you know, you use terms that I do understand as well. So well done you.
Thanks, Jar Jar.
That's the greatest thing you could have called him.
That is
That's brilliant.
okay. Just me and you, Achieves, seems. But it does.
works.
I'm hearing in my ear at the moment that we do have an interview getting lined up as well. So we're going to hear from one of the Word players. Achieves, you must be looking forward to that interview. Just turn this way a little bit.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
completely
actually
block.
more curious about who we're going to be interviewing. Which one do you think?
I believe we're going to be interviewing Torment.
Oh, okay. Torment's a sweetheart, so good.
Oh, is he?
Torment's just a wonderful guy.
Okay, well, we're just getting that set up at the moment, so stay tuned. We've had some fantastic interviews so far. The Karma one in
was good,
particular jumped out to me as a great lesson for everyone at home who's, you know, looking to get better and how to get better. But my favourite one...
Yeah.
We're going to regionals!
I love
We're
the
going to DC!
difference because we got Karma up on here and she was just like, yeah, we didn't play great, we could definitely play better. You know, very self-critical, very much looking towards improvement. And then we just get pure, unbridled optimism.
Unfiltered, wasn't it? It was just
Right,
joy.
So we got to get, right, it is Torment. I'm going to lean closer to Karma for this one.
Okay.
So a very analytical one. But I would love to hear, we're going to regionals from Torment.
From Torment, that's...
Very low chance, I reckon.
I don't know. Torment, out of all those C9
If we ask him
guys-
nicely.
Well, let's ask him nicely now. I believe we do have Torment on the line. Torment, firstly, congratulations for qualification to regionals. Can you hear me, buddy?
We can't hear
We
Torment.
can't hear you, but what we're going to do, if we can't hear you, we're going to lip read.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Ooh, an
I'm
exercise.
sorry,
That's
Torment, we
dangerous.
can't hear you at the moment. We'll try and get that fixed as soon as we can. If we can hear you, then we'll let you know. But, I mean, this is awkward. I'm not going to lie. We can't hear you. But we hope that we can. But congratulations. There's one thing we should say. Nod your head in approval if you're happy about getting to regional. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, let's do this.
We're
We can do
making yes or no questions at this
Okay, we're
point.
going to go
Okay,
yes or no,
okay.
Torment. Are you in on
Okay.
this? Yes, you
Oh,
are.
he's got
okay.
it. He's down.
All right,
Okay,
we've got this.
okay.
All right. Are you happy with the way you performed throughout the qualification period so far? He is. He is. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Achieves
Okay,
your question.
Did you come up with the team name Word? Both of us.
don't
Okay,
know.
I can read
Both
both of us. I can
both
read
of
both
us.
of us.
Oh, okay. I didn't get any of that at all. And are you guys, in your own opinions, the favourites to move on during the next round?
Ooh.
No.
No.
Oh. Okay. I would ask you who is. If you had a pen and paper, we could do it like that. But don't worry about that. And final question: do you think you can win the entire thing? Yeah,
Good.
There we go.
Good.
Okay, Torment, you have been fantastic. Unfortunately, we're probably going to have to leave it there. You couldn't have done better, my friend. Congratulations on qualification. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you over at the regionals as well. But gentlemen,
I'm a little worried
I
because
think
apparently
everybody did quite well there.
Apparently, he's not confident that he's going to get through regionals, but he's confident he's going to win the
Yeah, I
entire
know,
thing.
right? That's
Maybe you're
actually
saying
pretty
if we get
irrelevant.
through regionals,
We
then
can
we've
win
got
the
the
whole
confidence to
thing.
win the whole
There's
game.
nothing
Yeah.
That was one of my favourite interviews
That was brilliant.
That was
I
an
have ever
experience.
done, by the way. If I don't see that clipped and put everywhere, then I don't know.
I mean,
what
that's
to do
ingenuity right there.
I thought we did quite a good job. Let's be honest. To create something out of that, well done, well done, guys. Well done, guys.
It was
Well
a
done,
very
guys.
karma-esque
Don't worry
interview.
about you.
Highly
Yeah.
analytical.
Are you still reeling, are you?
I'm not
Do you
reeling.
want this salt I've got behind me, or
Not
are
angry.
you all good by yourself?
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Oh, I could deal with either of those from you. Achieves, however,
Oh, yeah.
I can't not do with your approval.
Oh, well, you've already got that, so.
I'm a happy boy on set.
Okay, well, if you enjoyed that interview, and I'm sure you did, let us know. Use that hashtag UOS2 and get in touch. Send some Achieves some love as well, because Shogun's being really mean. And if you want to send me some love, I need it right now, because Shogun has completely ruined me. But anyway, we're
I've
going
got
to
a
go.
cup for your tears over here. Don't worry, you fill that up.
I won't give you the. I'm not giving you that. Don't worry.
The
Don't worry.
satisfaction.
I won't cry on camera. I'll do it during the break, which is where we're going to go right now. But don't go anywhere, because when we get back, we're going to have one more team qualifying for regionals. We'll see you in just a second.